Who doesn't love a great sale? Recently, I was browsing the Acoustic Sounds website and I saw that they had a warehouse sale. So I clicked on it. I'm looking through it. I saw a lot of things that I would like at significant discounts. And then I happened upon this and I said, I've got to get this. It was the Impex One-Step of Patricia Barber's Nightclub at a dramatic discount. I think this retails for $130 and they had it for like $74. So I was like, okay, bye, I'm gonna get this because I have been exploring Patricia Barber's catalog personally and on the channel over the last few years. The first time I talked about Patricia was with this. And this is the perfect introduction to anyone that's going to get into Patricia Barber. It's a great entry point. Café Blue is kind of the record that put her on the map in a big way. And it was also in a big way with audiophiles too. The sound in this is wonderful. And once you understand Patricia Barber's records, you know that they all have great sound due to the engineer, Jim Anderson. This is a great introduction to her art. The wonderful lyrics, the way she presents them, the way she gets inside a lyric and really has you understand a deeper emotional depth to what she's saying and singing. Her piano, of course, is fabulous, and her accompaniment is great too. What I love about her records is the smoky late night vibe and the exquisite sound, of course. Usually simple combinations that really work for an audiophile type presentation. But it's not all about sound. It's about the music, and the music is fantastic. I was so enamored with Café Blue, I named it as a record to die for, and that's the highest honor I give any record. This is the Premonition 2LP reissue. From there, I went on to this one. And I fell head over heels for this too. This is Patricia Barber's Modern Cool, a release that followed Café Blue. And if anything, this is on equal stature or even higher than Café Blue. It is really a record to die for as well. Great sound, a wonderful package. This is the Impex reissue that came out last year or the year before. It's a 2x33. It's pressed on VR900 vinyl. It has an elaborate package designed by Robert Sliger. And it's just a delight to hear this record. I loved hearing her continue along the lines of Café Blue, but expanding it into some different territory. Wonderful, wonderful sound and music on this. It's highly recommended. And I think it's still available. From there, I was like, what is my next Patricia Barber record going to be? And it was this one, the Impex One-Step. So I want to talk about the packaging first. But let me tell you, this is a 2x33. It has the complete music plus one bonus track. It is mastered from the analog tape by Bernie Grunman. It's pressed on VR900 vinyl, an earlier incarnation of it than the DR2. And it's housed in this gorgeous package that I just got to show you. I'm so thrilled with the execution of the packaging. Not surprisingly, I'm a big fan of Robert Sliger. There is a fabulous video. If you go to the Impex website and you look for this listing, there's a video of Robert Sliger explaining about this packaging, and I'm just going to recap a little bit of it here because it's so fascinating. They used a Monster Pack jacket for this. So if you look, you'll notice there is a light blue spine here, and that really is important for the visual tie-in with the album. So light blue on this leather, pebble grain leather look slipcase. Very elegant. This is a limited edition of 7,500. So there are a lot of these around, I guess, and maybe that's why it was discounted for a while. So the blue is taken, obviously, from the blue in this gorgeous photograph. The Monster Pack jacket is completely laminated all the way around. He also took a little liberty in the design of the back. So on the original, there are credits here. He decided to make it more minimal and more elegant by just putting a quote here, which says, "Something special can happen late at night in a jazz club." And that's the whole thing about nightclub. Nightclub evokes a late night jazz atmosphere. Very spare, very moody, a little smoky, and absolutely stunning. Inside, you'll see at first this gorgeous photograph of Barber reclining on a leather sofa, a brown leather sofa. And the choice of this color for the slipcase ties in with that idea that, you know, a fancy jazz club might have brown leather sofas, you know, kind of a tactile thing, and you can feel it here. And it's just one of those little design touches that I love about Impex and Robert Sliger. So inside you have 3 leaves, actually. So it's like this. The first one shows the song titles, and this beautiful photograph, really reproduced very nicely. Of course, they use selective spot gloss throughout, and that's a feature that Robert uses a lot. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'll try to highlight it for you elsewhere. The numbers here on the sides are highlighted in spot gloss, as is this border. Everything else is matte. Here you have the back part of the gatefold, and this is explaining the one-step process, and it has a quote from Rick Hashimoto. So this was early on, one of the earliest one-steps. I think it's the second from Impex. So they felt like that was an important thing to discuss, and that's there. In the middle is a pocket with a booklet. I want to show you this booklet. You would think a booklet would be filled with, you know, essays and technical information. Robert didn't go that way, and it's really kind of an art piece in itself. So there are quotes here, the same quote, "Something special can happen late at night in a jazz club." That is highlighted with gloss. And you have a little hint of the leather sofa back there. And inside, these finished touches continue. There's a little spot gloss here, like a stripe. As the crowd thins, the musicians intuitively sense that those few who have stayed for a reason. Here's another great picture of her at the piano with more gloss highlighting. And it says, "A reciprocity of need and desire inspires the musician to dig as deeply into their talent and souls as they are able." I love this. So it's really like, there's another great shot of her. This mysterious and transformative confluence of events rarely happens in a concert. And here you have the last part of it. "It is the province of the nightclub." Patricia Barber. Look at that. I mean, it's amazing. This is the original credits and the Impex One-Step credits. So this is mastered from a tape. So Impex One-Steps are only mastered from tape. That's the reason we didn't see Modern Cool as a one-step, because they used a digital master in that case. And they had a digital master to use for this, but there was also an analog tape. So they used the analog tape. They gave it to Bernie Grunman. Bernie Grunman mastered this at 33 over 2 LPs. There's also an extra track here, and it's a great one. It is "Wild as the Wind," and that ends the album. This is a very interesting third record for me, because I think if I came to this one first, it might have taken me a little longer to appreciate Patricia Barber. Not because it's not excellent, it is. And it sounds fabulous too. It is a project that she had in mind for a decade to do an album of covers. And she does covers very well, and they're always an interesting twist on the original. But for this, I think it's better to explore those two earlier albums first to get a handle on what Patricia Barber is all about, and then come to this. If you do it in that sequence, I think you'll be rewarded with a wonderful listening experience. I love these type of songs. I love the Great American Songbook. Some of these are like that, but this isn't one of those albums that, an artist does because they ran out of ideas. This is not that at all. This is her inhabiting these songs and making them her own. One of the things about Patricia Barber is her ability to dig out the meaning of a lyric. And this is one of the most striking things about this record. Let me tell you some of the titles here. Bye Bye Blackbird, Invitation, Yesterdays, Just for the Thrill, You Don't Know Me, Alfie, Autumn Leaves, Summer Samba, All or Nothing at All, So in Love, A Man and a Woman, I Fall in Love Too Easily, and Wild as the Wind. Familiar songs, famous songs. Some from the earlier era of the Great American Songbook, some more recent. But she chose these for the reason that she could bring something new to them. One of the things that strikes me about this record is the diction, and the voice is so clear and taken at such a slower pace. It is like a relaxed late night kind of feel that you hear every lyric. And some of these songs I've heard dozens of times and never really understood the lyric. Patricia Barber not only reveals what the lyric is clearly, but she interprets it in her phrasing, in the way she delivers it, to give it an emotional punch that you might not hear otherwise. That's what really I took away from this record. Also, what I took away is the unbelievable sound quality. That was expected. Jim Anderson is a wonderful engineer. He's worked with her over the course of her career. And you can always depend on great sound from a Patricia Barber album. Usually, it's very spare. Piano and voice, the bass and drums. So not a lot of clutter. Always this open space around her. Vocal, clear and upfront. Bass, really nice and weighty, but defined. Cymbals, gentle, up here, shimmering away in beauty. Drum sound is wonderful. And there's also a few guest appearances here. I don't have the artist, I apologize for that, on guitar. And the guitar is recorded really nicely too, in a kind of softer way. Everything here is gentle, like wraparound immersion. There are edges to everything, of course, but no edgy sound. It's a lush, warm, analog type sound that just transports you to the nightclub. And by the end of the record, and Wild is the Wind, you'll be won over by Nightclub. The pressing is so beautiful. They really did a nice job, RTI and Rick Hashimoto, on this. Being an early one-step, they paid particular attention to getting this right. And although I have seen a couple of comments on Discogs, a couple of people had a little issue with their record. I didn't have any issue with it. I I think, every pressing plant has their day, and sometimes something gets out that's not perfect. But, this record is very well produced, very well pressed. Of course, I've shown you the packaging. It's impressive. And most of all, it's the music and performance. This is another entry into my Patricia Barber collection, and I absolutely love it. And I wanted to let you know about it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's on sale anymore. So it probably retails, I think the 2 record sets, one-step sets, retail for $130. I got it for $74. So I was really happy about that. But no matter. If this is something that is of interest to you, you should definitely check out the Impex One-Step of Patricia Barber's Nightclub. Same high quality all the way through her catalog, but a little bit of a different take on the music, and one that I feel is probably very personal to Patricia Barber, and she did it exactly right. Bringing her vision, her interpretive powers and talent, combined with this beautiful sound, create a record that can easily stand among the best in her catalog. Let me know what you think about Patricia Barber's Nightclub. And until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.